I just hope everyone that's sick becomes healthy again.
The hardest part for me is the loss, because I lost my grandmother and a few important people.
People are suffering out there.
So many people are unemployed.
In the shelters, they're afraid. Could you imagine living with 467 other people in one place?
I couldn't invite any family members to the hospital. You have to wear the mask when you labor. I'm afraid of to bring my newborn baby to showing anyone.
We usually don't go out anymore, and if we do, we wear a mask and we always put hand sanitizer on.
This has been a very challenging time for our staff, and they've really devoted their lives to the work that we have at hand.
We find hope in everyday situations, whether it's through our families, our friends, or our coworkers. We need to find hope in the little things.
I would definitely tell that story of how we built this fully operational hospital within a number of days. There was so much camaraderie there. There were a lot of people kind of in a panic, and the way that we came together, it was we really didn't worry. We just knew we were gonna get it done. And I just remember feeling wow, we're making a difference with this, and we're really gonna be able to help. So that was just one of the best feelings, knowing that I was a part of something so big.
You realize it's about that, the elasticity of the human spirit, or the moments when we're able to just care for each other, which Bostonians have been doing for forever, but certainly this year showing once again how we are able to help someone else. And that is inspiring because it's the work of everyday people.
I hope people begin to realize that we need each other and that working together is better than working against each other. I'm involved with my neighbors through harvesting my food and sharing it. And I pick the fresh vegetables and I share it with my neighbors.
I call myself Mr. Tutorial because I do a lot of tutorials.
Then once you've done that, then you click Sample Student.
I usually do it for my teacher and all my classmates, the ones who are listening.
It's difficult trying to work in the same space because when I went to school, I got to chit-chat with my friends. When I grow up, I want to be a paleontologist, so I have to go to school to do that.
For me, the bright spot during this pandemic is being able to wake up every day to go to work, regardless of how afraid I am. My family came all the way from Cape Verde with a dream of just making and surviving and being in a better economic situation. So everyone was still rooting for us, we're gonna get through it, we're gonna buy a gallon of milk here. The community was still supporting us.
We had to shut down a whole business for almost 2 months. But then we really a touched moment was that our regular customer come back.
Reopening after the shutdown, our staff pulled together to build an amazing outdoor patio and takeout operation that was ready just in time for the best customers in the world. They continue to support us.
It's refreshing to see that we can come together without actually physically being together. It shows me that there's community even when we can't physically come together.
I'm so honored and grateful for the 60-something people who signed up to take my class for the Boston Social Fitness Fest. And I'm emotional because I haven't seen that many people at one time, or just in total, in months.
Oh, good morning, everybody. It's me, Miss Grace. Can you believe?
And he followed Brer Rabbit down the road.
Any day of the week, people can ring the bell, say we need food, and they usher them in, give them 2 bags of food, and they're on their way. That makes me happy that we could provide them tangible help while they're in those difficult straits.
When you go into a pandemic and there's so much out of your control, you need to be aware of the things that you can bring yourself to bring yourself joy. I love to help people. So if I can work hard on their case and release funds to them, I think that's the greatest thing that I can do for somebody.
When we reopen to the public, I think one of our major avenues is going to be people looking for jobs. We're going to go in and help them do a job search. We are going to tell them about different trainings.
By being voices for other parts of the community, even if we may not be able to help directly into the shelters and things, it shows how we're all totally into making a difference for the homelessness.
It kind of makes you proud to see people in the community, people in Boston, people in the council, people in the shelters, just marching forward. I never thought I'd see the day they would have to wear masks and gloves to go to work, but we do, and we deal with it. It's amazing.
I feel lucky and honored to have the opportunity to do this work. It's the fire in the belly that gets me up every day. My hope is that we don't forget the lessons learned from this pandemic. Equity matters. Our community, particularly communities of color who are underrepresented, need to be prioritized.
For COVID-19, we have seen that even though it affects us all, some of us it disproportionately affects because of systemic implications that have put barriers. Those in poorer communities, those who have already faced systemic problems and issues within their communities are bearing the brunt of this virus. And what I'm seeing is in the future, I'm revolutionizing people to get to that point where we find solutions to these problems.
Resilience is definitely about this idea that you can take some bumps and you can take some hits and you have the staying power, you have the bounce back factor that's going to allow you to go forward. What's different this time around is a fundamental redefinition of what forward is, because normal has underserved us.
It's through experiencing those tough times that I was the most hopeful, because I came out of that helplessness to being, I'm gonna fight harder because I see a better future. I see something that I want to obtain for people, for everybody. I see an injustice and I want to find the solution, and I'm looking for the path to get there.
This pandemic has forced us to change the way we even conceptualize ministry. And so now we're doing newer things, more innovative things. We're doing things that people had fought for years, and we're actually seeing things get better. And I just find that fascinating. And there are people who are talking about, well, we can't wait till things go back the way they were. I'm not at all interested in that. I'm really looking forward to our taking advantage of this time to really think about how we serve people differently in the future.
Still to this day, when I see that sign, that symbol, Boston Hope, it reminds me that, Boston is so strong, especially when we come together during crisis. It gives me a sense of pride to just know that I'm a part of a community.
It's just working together through this, not blaming anyone for this pandemic, but just working through it as best we know how and making sure that lives are saved. And that's what's most important to me.
Everything that I thought was so important was not really all that important. Am I helping somebody? That should be at the top of the list. Is somebody going to be better off as a result of my doing this, or does it matter?
I think we've all learned to be kinder, and will definitely show once we get to the end of this, and we will get to the end of this. And that again goes into improving our communities, the community of the city of Boston.
Boston is the best place to live. I've been all around the world and I've always come back home because we have this sense of pride and community like no other place in the world. And we always bounce back. We've been through so many things here, as a community, as a family, and it doesn't matter, no matter what happens negatively in Boston, we're just not those kind of people that's gonna let anything tear us down. As a family, we got that from my grandfather, my grandmother, we lost her, but she's up there watching us, so she has our back.
If we see ourselves as an ecology and we all do what we can do together, we all thrive.
My message to the people of Boston is, now's the time to double down. Let's really wear our masks, socially distance, get tested when necessary, and hopefully get as many people vaccinated as possible.
You just build off courage from each other, and you're like, okay, if you're surviving it, you can make it, I can make it too. I just hope like we continue to have that sense of like we're strong enough to make it through, and that everyone just continues to do what we have to do, and we all work together